Hello, welcome to the 99th episode of the Karstcast movie cast. Real quick before we introduce our guest, but honestly our guest can answer this as well. What color does blue litmus paper change to in acid?
Okay, I feel like you've asked me this question before.
I don't think I have, to be honest.
I'm pretty sure it's pink, right? I remember it being pink in high school when I did this, and like,
if that's what you're going with, Jeff, do you have an answer for it?
it's pink or red,
Adam seems like he knows.
I remember taking like freshman year biology in high school, and I think I remember it being pink.
I'm gonna trust Adam here.
It's red. So in the same.
Adam said red. For like a
I
second.
did. For like a second, I was like, it's pink or red. But
some
I don't
people
know.
perceive pink as red, so it's really
It's in
for
the
those
same
people it would be
family.
pink.
Yeah. But anyways, we have a guest today, and it's our good buddy Adam Knoll.
Howdy.
Do you want to
How do you know
yourself?
Adam?
How do I know Adam?
Yeah.
There's a few routes I could go with this. Like Adam and I went to school together. I don't think we were ever in a class or anything, but I just knew him through a bunch of mutual friends, met at a bunch of parties, and now he's my mod in my Twitch streams. But much more than that. He's also my neighbor. You are like, honestly,
I'm
just
like,
a few feet away from me.
literally the other block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how. What about you, Jeff? Do you know Adam? You know Adam.
Yeah, I know Adam.
Jeff knows me.
Yeah. Adam.
You've known him longer than me.
Yeah, for definitely like a couple years, just because Adam and I worked at the same place.
Yeah, I think my 2-year anniversary was just the other day, I think, because I'm pretty sure I started in February. So.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, you still work there?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, that kind of sucks, dude.
I mean, yeah, I was hoping to be working on shows a little bit more now, but
yeah,
you know,
well,
that
lucky
kind of
with
the industry kind of shit its pants, so didn't really get to go that route as much as I wanted to. So I'm sticking with the safe job for now.
I still have the keys to the whole facility.
That's kind of hilarious. Why?
I never gave them back, and I just kind of forgot, and then I found them when I was moving.
You didn't know you got them and never asked for them back?
Yeah, I think they still don't know I have the keys.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad, dude. It's keys to like a multi-million-dollar facility.
Yeah,
Wow.
there's a lot of expensive shit there.
It's a lot of
that
power
you
in your
could
hands,
just
Jeff.
go in there and
Yeah.
take.
Yeah.
Right, when I get back to Chicago, I'll return them. I just want everyone who's listening to this to know that I do not intend on doing anything nefarious
You
with
are
these
kind
keys.
of on the other end of the country right now, so there's not much.
Right,
to do.
exactly. As far as everyone knows, yeah. So I definitely couldn't, even if I wanted to, I couldn't commit a crime.
Jeff, when was the last time I saw you in the flesh? It's been forever.
It's been a
Was
while.
it at
It was
work?
Pre-pandemic. Yeah, it would have been because a few times after I quit and then traveled, after I came back, there was a few months before the pandemic where I visited CineSpace like 4 times.
Right.
So it would have been like a couple of those times. I think you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so probably like February.
Damn, that's crazy.
It's been like a full year.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. I was gonna bring up, Adam, I know you have a podcast yourself.
Yeah.
That you may have wanted to plug. Didn't it start this week?
Yeah, it should. The first episode should be out tomorrow, which will be Sunday, Valentine's Day.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, it's like mostly like leftist politics and just shit posting and just shooting the shit with a bunch of my friends that I made on Twitter.
That's
over
awesome.
The last couple of years. So it's
Yeah.
called the Sunday Morning Podcast, like Good Morning Sunday Morning. You remember that whole meme?
Yeah.
On Twitter, it's at Sunday_pod if you want to check that out. So
Beautiful. Yeah. That actually, like, I did not have this plan to bring up, but that kind of brings up something. Is your Hot Boys for Bernie thing or whatever?
Right.
And
Oh,
you're
yeah.
the guy that started that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I started it because my good friend Danica started Hot Girls for Bernie, and a lot of dudes wanted in on that. And so she was like, yeah, you can do the dudes one if you want. And I was like, all right, sure. And I did. So, I mean, I can't really take much credit for it because it was Danica's idea. But, yeah, and that's where I met all these dudes from that I do this podcast with that we just started.
That's hilarious.
Because this was like over a year ago now. Like this was when Bernie was actually in the running and it was looking like that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I remember. So it's kind of, it's insane that we still even talk to each other in this stupid Twitter group chat.
I was going to say, I think I was in that Twitter group chat for a brief period of time where I asked you to like add me. And then I was like, I have nothing to contribute to this group. And I don't remember when I left, but at some point I definitely, unless I'm still in there and I just haven't checked.
You were like, there's no other Karstens in this group chat. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm only on Karsten group chats now.
I'm only on the Karsten group chat, which
Anyways.
Oh,
sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I hit up that group chat last night because it was dead. And I was like, quick check-in, how's everybody's week been? And I got pretty ghosted. No one really wants to use the... One guy was like, mine was good, Karsten. How about you? And I was like, thanks for asking, Karsten.
That's a good bit, though, that you all say Karsten.
We all refer to each other as Karsten when we speak to each other, which is...
You should do a Karsten's Only podcast where you get all, like, 15 of the rest of them.
I really should. And Jeff would just be cornered.
Yeah.
I actually am also in a group chat with a bunch of Adams.
Seriously?
Yeah. When I was in high school, someone at my school made a group chat of all the Adams at my school and then left it. And then that made me the admin for some reason. Because I think my name on GroupMe is like just Adam.
The Adammin.
Yeah. So there was like 15 Adams in this group chat. And then like I found out there was an Adam subreddit. And I posted the link there and like 30 people joined it. And so then there's just this GroupMe that I haven't checked in on in like over a year of just like 50 Adams.
That's so funny.
And we would do the same bit where we'd be like, hey, Adam. And everyone would go, hey, Adam.
That's amazing. I wonder if there's like a Karsten group chat or subreddit. There's already a group chat, but
is there not a subreddit? There could be.
There could be. I don't know.
Check it out.
But anyways, I kind of like usually we mess around in the intro for a while, but today I kind of want to like get into it because you told me you had a good amount to say about this movie.
I do. I mean, it's my thoughts are like all over the place with this movie because I love it so much, but I know a lot of people have different expectations of it or like different interpretations of it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
But today we're talking about Point Break, the 1991 film. I'm assuming we never specified which one we were talking about.
No, I've never seen the remake.
That was the one.
Yeah, I was like, I hope we're not doing the 2015 one. But this is a 1991 flick directed by Catherine Bigelow, and the synopsis reads: after a string of bizarre bank robberies in Southern California, with the crooks donning masks of various former presidents, a federal agent, Johnny Utah, played by Keanu Reeves, infiltrates the suspected gang. But this is no ordinary group of robbers. They're surfers, led by the charismatic Bodie, played by Patrick Swayze, who are addicted to the rush of thievery. But when Utah falls in love with a female surfer, Tyler, played by Lori Petty, who is close to the gang, it complicates his sense of duty. Way to end it on duty, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. I have a few quick notes on that synopsis.
All right.
The synopsis gives away. So we don't care about spoilers because this film came out like when I was born.
If you haven't seen it and you're listening right now, go watch it and come back. It's really good. It's on HBO Max. Do it.
This film in the synopsis gives away like the twist in the middle of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the whole first half of the film, you don't think that Patrick Swayze's character is like involved in this.
I mean, yeah, but also I feel like you're kind of assuming, but it is a twist.
Yeah, it's a really bad twist. Like it was. I don't think I have ever seen a twist coming more than this twist.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a red herring kind of.
Yeah.
And then it's like if you know, you know. Like they're not gonna get the Sways in the movie and not have him be like one of the main characters.
Sways.
I love the Sways so much. I could talk about the Sways for a full episode if you wanted.
I don't think I've ever seen a Patrick Swayze movie before this.
You never seen Ghost?
No, I've never seen.
You never seen Roadhouse?
Never seen
Dirty Dancing? I haven't seen Dirty Dancing either.
Oh, I've seen Dirty Dancing. Actually, that's the one I have seen. But yeah, but I guess we'll get into it. We usually ask the guests because you were the one that picked this film. Why'd you pick it?
Well, I mean, I want to talk about it, but I want to hear your guys' takes on it first, actually.
Sure.
Before I get into it, I want to know if you guys even liked it in the first place.
Okay. I loved it.
Hell yeah.
I was like, so here's my thing with Point Break is I don't know if this is your same situation, Adam, but I was supposed to watch this as like an assignment in my history of cinema class, taught by Eric Marsh, and it was like
Nice
Love
plug,
Eric
nice
so
plug.
much. He's great.
good
He's
plug,
such a cool dude.
in case he's listening. And it was one of those days. What he does is he puts on the movie and then leaves the class for the day. He honestly just goes home, I'm pretty sure. And so a lot of the time, if you're just not in the mood, I would just dip. I'm like, I don't feel like doing this, and I regret that. That was so dumb of me because he showed a lot of cool movies. But this was one of them. So I watched like the first 20 minutes and then was like, I can't do this right now. It's like 11 a.m. And then I went home. And I'm bummed because this is a good-ass movie.
Right.
But yeah. Jeff, what'd you think?
I mean, obviously we'll get into a lot of in-depth things here, but first impressions, Johnny Utah had to have been like the first attempt at a name, and then someone just like, I'm keeping it.
Dude, it's such a good name.
It's such a good ass name.
Johnny Utah. That's the thing. It's like I feel like I've heard it referenced in a ton of things. I know they reference it in Whiplash. Never knew what he meant when he said
They
it.
reference it in Whiplash?
Yeah. Someone,
When?
I think Miles Teller says it. He's like, it's like an insult. But yeah. But my point is, it's like I've heard the name, never was able to put it to a face, and this was the perfect. I couldn't have asked for a better face. But yeah, you tell us a little bit. Is this your favorite movie, Adam? I thought I heard that.
This is my favorite movie of all time.
Okay, wow.
I mean, I haven't seen a lot of good ass movies. Like, I know there's this whole world of cinema I got to dive into. Like, I've never seen like a Krzysztof Kieslowski film. I haven't really seen much of like Tarkovsky's work and shit like that. I'm not like a big like cinema buff like that.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we're kind of on the same page here.
Yeah.
You know, it's we're like the Yang to Karsten's.
Right.
I'm not that big. I've seen two. Anyways. Yeah.
But like in film school, people will always ask me what my favorite movie is, and whenever I say Point Break, people make fun of me. So usually I'll lie and be like Chungking Express because that's also one of my favorite movies, but it's not like
And
my
it's
number
like
one.
that's like a cinema file like
Right.
accepted answer. Yeah.
Right.
Have you ever
say
tried
like
saying like what's your favorite movie, and then they're like, oh, like, and you're like, oh yeah, me too.
no, but that's a good idea. I should.
That's how
use
you make
that.
friends right away.
Yeah. But like a lot of people will talk shit about Point Break because they take it at face value, and even if you do take it at face value, it's an amazing action movie. Like if you just like turn your brain off and watch it, it's still great. Like if you like the first scene, you see Keanu in slow-mo racking a shotgun with one hand in the rain, and you know you're like in for a fucking ride.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I just love they cut between him shooting a gun and then surfing. They're like, this is what this movie is about.
And Swayze just ripping it up on the ocean. Just
surfing.
Yeah. It's great. You know what you're getting into like right from the start.
Yeah.
It's great.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
It seems like the quintessential like early 90s movie, like tail at the end of the 80s. Like, I think I get why. I always was like, because Marsh, the professor in that class, he showed us like all the like classics and like what were historically significant, like some Agnes Varda film and like 8.5 and stuff. And then out of nowhere, he was like, all right, next week we're watching Point Break. And everybody was like, what the fuck? But I get it now. Like, this is the film of that era.
Yeah.
Like,
I took that very same class with Marsh, and when we got to like the 80s, like on the syllabus it said Point Break, and I was so excited because that was like my favorite movie, and I was like, I can't wait till we watch Point Break and I get to write about it for class.
Yeah.
And like then I show up like on that day and we watched Big Trouble in Little China instead.
Oh.
And I was disappointed, but that's also a great movie. Like
Yeah.
it's a very similar to Point Break, like product of its time, like super mid 80s, just Kurt Russell being buff and having a gun. And like it's kind of racist at points for sure. And it's a good movie, but I don't remember where I was going with this. Oh, I also took a heist films class with him, and we didn't watch Point Break in it, which was disappointing again, but it was cool. We like
that
some
sounds like
genre
a
studies.
sick ass class, to be honest.
Yeah, it was awesome actually. We watched like a lot of like 50% of the class was like 1950s and 1960s heist films because it's Marsh, you know,
Yeah.
how much he loves like old school Hollywood, like historical cinema. But, yeah.
That's awesome. I have one more like quick little funny thing about this movie. As I was just texting someone that I was watching this beforehand, like a few hours ago, and they were like, "Oh, the only memory I have of watching this was at one of Adam's parties. I think he just had it on in the background." And I was like, "I'm literally having the guy on my podcast to talk about it."
I think it might have been my birthday party last year. I just put it up and I was like, I think I had subtitles on and like the sound off because there was music on, and I would every like 2 hours I would go back and just start it over again.
Dude, that's such a genius idea.
Yeah, I mean, I figured like maybe there'll be some people who just want to chill out on the couch, and I'll have this on for them.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I guess we can I want to hear more about like why, because I have like a few reasons that we can get into, but like why you think this deserves a bit more than like what it's looked at on its surface.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I just think it's a movie that's like impossible to not enjoy. Like you can sit there and watch it as an action movie. You can sit there and like make fun of it for being a campy action movie, or you can just be super into the action of it. And then there's layers and layers of subtext to it that you wouldn't expect a movie about surfing bank robbers to have. Like, first of all, I think Bodhi's the protagonist and the good guy, which might sound like a hot take, but like I don't think he really does anything wrong unless he like is backed against the wall and has no other choice the whole time.
Yeah,
like he drives the plot forward. He's the like actionable force, and then Johnny's trying to stop him the whole time.
Yeah,
and his philosophy is like kind of what the thesis of the film is. Like when he's talking about like he's trying to say like it's about the human spirit. It's about the power of the human spirit. Like we can do whatever the fuck we want to do. We can achieve our dreams. Like I surf because I'm like searching for this thing, like a purpose in life. And he's talking about how he like finds his purpose and exists purely for that. And in a modern society, you can't do that. And he does that and is severely punished for it. Like he has that whole monologue where he's like, it's us against the system. It's not about the money. We're fighting that system that kills the human spirit. Like those people in like their metal coffins on the freeways, like marching towards their deaths or whatever. Like we show them a human spirit still alive. And he does that. But then the film shows if you do that, you're going to lose everything because you just can't. And like his message is a very like pre 9/11, pre Columbine, pre like everything awful that we know of in a modern society, like that kind of American optimism that you just can't have anymore. And it's I don't know. I think it's a powerful message. Because I think he's a good person. He's a good person, and he just exists outside of society's rules. Like he's robbing these banks, but you hear him say like early on, like your money's insured. You're fine. Like it doesn't matter that I'm taking this money because it's not going to affect you adversely. I'm only robbing the corporation that has your money, and you're going to be fine. I don't know. I'm sorry to go on like a total like rant, but
no, that was very well put. I did not realize that I agreed that Bodhi was the protagonist of this until not only you said it, but also like the end of the movie, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like that's when it like hit me that he was never like the bad guy here. If anything, it totally makes sense too, because Johnny Utah is great, but he's also kind of just like just a walking body. Like doesn't have a ton going for him. It's like he's more of the vehicle that the film uses for us to like ride along with Bodhi and get.
That's
to
why
understand
Keanu's great
character.
to play him, because that's kind of what Keanu does. That's like his whole thing. Yeah,
that's his character.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, usually I don't get the Keanu Reeves hype, but albeit I have not seen like the John Wick films. I really haven't seen Keanu Reeves do his thing. But that said, he's so good in this. Like, his shitty acting, I'll say it. Like, shitty, well, in some parts. It's not
Yeah.
shitty acting,
Yeah.
but, like, just his style of it works perfectly here.
Yeah.
It's like every line he delivers is ridiculous and borderline incoherent.
FBI agent. Like, just pure Keanu. It's amazing.
Yeah. But that's sick though. I didn't realize like how much of a main character Bodhi was.
Right.
Until
They don't really introduce him until like 25 minutes into the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all the setup, there's no real, like, you never see Swayze's face
yeah.
until like he sees him out there
Yeah.
in the ocean. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure if I 100% agree that he's the protagonist, which is fine, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think he thinks he's the protagonist of the film. Because obviously, some films, people are like terrible, but like they are like, yeah, I'm terrible, and then they just go around shooting people. Bodhi thinks he's awesome, and that he thinks he's like this noble, like spiritual surfer guy, which is such an early '90s type of person to be.
Yeah. That's also like who Patrick Swayze was as a person. Like, he was a very spiritual guy, and like got into like Buddhism, like got a little bit into Scientology at some point, and like tried every religion, and was like this like cool like cowboy dude who was just really awesome. And like it was perfect to play that character too. Like, the casting in this movie is just so spot on.
Totally.
He also looked really good with long hair.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I will say this. Okay. I think like everybody looks good in this movie. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think how much of a take that
Yeah.
is, but I think Keanu looks amazing. Patrick Swayze's great.
Yeah,
Like,
even Gary Busey kind of looks cool in this movie.
Right?
that's what I'm saying. Everybody's kind of pretty here.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that about it. I want to ask you, Adam. There's like, at least when I looked it up online, I kind of picked up on it my first time just now, which is why I wanted to see if anyone agreed. And there's like a ton of gay undertones going on
Right.
between Bodhi and Johnny Utah.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, it just seemed like kind of jokey and easy to read. But the more of the film you watch, you're like, is there something going on? Like, it really... I just wanted to hear your take on it.
That's one of the other great things about this is like there's the movie, the first layer of subtext in like its message and its themes, and then the third layer of subtext in like the homoerotic themes, which is what I like is so powerful about this. And like my first couple viewings, I didn't really pick up on it that much.
Yeah.
And like I'm absolutely no expert on queer theory whatsoever. As like a cis dude, I can't really like a straight cis dude. I can't really postulate too much on that.
Yeah.
But I think there's this idea that in cinema, whenever like a man to a man expresses a vulnerable emotion, it automatically makes it gay, which is kind of true in the essence of this time. Like in the 80s and 90s, like you just didn't really do that in movies without having your character be like explicitly straight and just like super macho and like maybe homophobic too. But this movie doesn't really make them do that too much. And it's two men who care very much for each other, and there's a strong male gaze in the movie too, with only really like one female character. So like you as the viewer are kind of clued into that a little bit, and like you could also relate the themes of the movie to maybe it's about repressed homosexuality in the way that Johnny comes to LA and meets this guy Bodhi, and Bodhi shows him a whole new kind of life, and maybe that's him discovering his sexuality, and maybe Bodhi being so rejected by society is like maybe it has something to do with like a latent homosexuality, like he's being rejected by society and chooses to live outside of it because society doesn't accept him for who he is. But like yes, there's also a very like explicit tone to it, because it's like there's a lot of man love, like the way they look at each other when they first meet him. Like Bodhi totally checks Johnny out when he's like meeting him, and they immediately go into like, yeah, let's play football and like tackle each other. And I don't know how you really say it's not at least a little bit gay. I don't know
Yeah.
how you could really make that argument, but
Yeah. That's so true. There are like just multiple layers to it, and you can basically choose what kind of movie you want to watch, which I think is cool. I really loved the parachute scene. I just wanted to bring that up. The first
Which one?
The first time. I mean, they're both great, but like the first time it happens, I was very especially considering like what came right before that, like where you kind of, I was just like very. It's kind of up in the air what the characters in the film's motives were, and I'm just like, first of all, I'm just like, what the fuck is Johnny doing?
Right.
Right.
Like, because all of us were like, there's no parachute in this bag.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right? That's what we all thought.
Yeah.
And they're like passing around the different bags up in the plane. And I'm just like, someone is about to eat shit right now. And then it ends up being like this moment where they're like, you first. No, you first. And that in itself, I was like, okay, there's those homoerotic tones again. And then and then I'm like, oh, they both lived. And it's just, that was just a roller coaster of a scene to watch.
Yeah, and it's just beautiful the way they shoot it. Like, actually skydiving. It's just fantastic to look at. Yeah.
Has anyone ever timed out how long? Because it seems like they're falling for a really long time.
Yeah, there's no way it takes that long to
How
skydive.
high up were they? Were they like in outer space when they started falling?
Yeah, they were like Felix Baumgartnering it from
Yeah. What else? I do really love I know you touched on this earlier, but the action scenes, I think.
Yeah.
Especially the
chase scene?
Which chase? I feel like there's the main chase scene, yeah.
The main chase scene, yeah, where they like run through all the houses. Honestly, you keep going. I was completely just trying to guess what you were going to say.
No. I was like, I feel like there were multiple, but there was one big chase scene.
That chase scene is so good. Like like the idea that everyone in LA just leaves their houses unlocked for these dudes to just run through, and then like when he just fucking like throws a dog at Johnny.
Yeah. And then the sound of the dog like crying. Clearly like a fake dog just like hits him and it just like falls.
Yeah. That is, I think, the only scene I'd seen about in this before watching it. Like, I just know that the iconic shot where he shoots the gun at the air. And it's so much better in the context of the movie. But, yeah, it's like, I never know what to feel about what's happening here. Like, I didn't know if that was funny or if that was really sad or just really, I was just like, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can enjoy it for whichever emotion you're feeling at the time, and it'll fit it. Like, on one hand, he's like in love with this guy and can't bring himself to shoot him. On the other hand, he's just in the middle of the LA River, just blasting a gun in the air and just like yelling. Yeah, it's incredible.
Have you seen the remake?
I haven't. I don't want to watch. I don't want to bring myself to watch it because I don't know.
I don't even understand why you would remake this.
Exactly.
That's what I realized.
Like, what are you going to improve?
Right.
Because I'm like, the point of this movie, I think like such a heavy part of why it works is the aesthetic of the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Like
that
is what the movie is. And
it's the perfect culmination of this style of filmmaking.
Yeah.
So on this podcast, I think the most similar film we've ever watched for it was The Last Boy Scout.
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
And that is like a much worse version of this film. It has all the slow motion action and like all that stuff and like all these like chases across like a hellscape city. And yeah, it's way worse than this. This is like if that movie was good.
Yeah. Yeah. Like all the like slow-mo like John Woo style like gunfights in this. I love action movies a lot. I like John Woo a lot too, and maybe that's why I like this so much.
I just love the idea of like that era where they're like, you know what? Maybe this is too actiony. Let's do some slow-mo so people can see the action.
Right.
That is true though. I'm glad you like brought up another like 80s action movie because that makes me just appreciate this on a different level. And I know we've like
so many of them can be bad.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there's one thing to like just have a fun action movie and make it kind of like campy and whatever, which this is. First of all, this is like a great example of that.
Yeah.
but it also just puts in so much sensitivity and heart that like without it being directly on the surface, like you just genuinely care for these dudes. And I don't know, I think it's crazy how well it works at the end of the day.
Yeah, and
So,
it was I think unnecessary for it to like have these layers. I think an action film coming out in the 90s when it's like people only go to the theater based off of like a newspaper review, if it was a good action movie without the subtext, it's still people would have seen it and it still would have made a bunch of money.
Exactly.
It's like a lot of unnecessary care that really made the film, I think, have a lot more staying power in terms of like it still felt like a relevant film emotionally rather than just a really outdated action film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was your favorite scene the skydiving one then, Karsten?
Dude, I don't even know.
I want to know what your guys' favorite parts were.
It was either the skydiving scene or that first scene where they surround that house and it ends with Keanu almost getting killed by a lawnmower.
Yeah.
That one. That scene had me super on edge, and just the fighting and the choreography, I was like, that is a fantastic action scene.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, holy shit. I don't know. I think those two were my top.
Yeah. I would say my favorite, the skydiving scene in terms of, I think it was just like a brilliantly set up scene within the context of the film. Because every now and then there's a film where I like the scene starts happening. I'm like, I see what you're doing there. And I'm like, that's just like ingenious.
Yeah.
Like for instance, there's the gun market scene in Ishtar is my favorite like scene in Ishtar because it's just like, I always have to bring up Ishtar. But it's just like that scene just within the context of the film is set up so brilliantly that it's just like an ingenious bit of screenwriting. So for me, I think that was like an ingenious scene. But my favorite scene is definitely the like beach fight scene because I just love beach fight scenes.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say my favorite scene is any scene with Anthony Kiedis in it. Which I still can't believe they like put him in this movie. Have him like shoot himself in the foot literally and just get beat up by Patrick Swayze. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah. I also like just the final scene in general, I think is really phenomenal. I didn't that's another thing. You don't realize like how like anti-cop this movie is until it kind of just flips around slowly. Which is also cool because it starts off as like this super macho like patriotic flick that slowly says the opposite in a way, and I think that was kind of cool.
It's such a funny fucking movie too.
It's so
like,
funny
comedically. Like they have like a tattoo on their ass they slap in like the first 10 minutes when they like show the security footage, like
and then they use that, they're like, see that tan line on his ass? That means he's a surfer.
Like Gary Busey being too distracted by Marmaduke to catch like robbers, like literally. But like,
dude, there was like the whole scene where Keanu goes to like order the subs, and just all of that happening behind him was
like 5 times Gary Busey's like, get 2 of them, like get 2 sandwiches, get 2 meatball subs.
Should have had you got 3 of these. Anyways, I'm trying to figure out something. I just halfway through this I wrote down, I think I'm gonna make a video about like surfing movies.
Hell yeah.
I think
what other surfing movies are there? The one where the girl gets her arm bit off?
Well, there's that, and then there's Surf's Up, which I think is as good as this, but in a different way. It just
I haven't seen it. That was just a funny statement.
You haven't seen it?
No. I remember we had like a movie night and I like hopped on and it was like ending. And I was like,
oh my god, I was about to say, I thought you were at that movie night when I got way too
I just looked up on Letterboxd like a surfing movie list. There's one called Step Into Liquid. So you definitely got to check that out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I only have 2 as evidence for why surfing movies are great, so I should probably find some other good ones.
Dude, these names of the surfing movies are really good. We also got Beautiful Wave.
Okay.
Big Wednesday.
What about Johnny
Did you-
Tsunami?
Johnny
Disney-
Tsunami. Yeah,
the Disney
that's-
Channel
Tsunami.
original movie.
I mean, he only surfs for like 2 seconds and then he snowboards. But wait, is this a sequel? Does he surf again, or is that also about snowboarding?
I know there was Johnny Tsunami, and then the one that I saw was Johnny Kapahala back on board when he did like the mountain boarding thing.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That,
I think
yeah,
I was too young for Johnny Tsunami and its immediate sequel, but
Yeah. Dude, Adam, I want to apologize actually before I forget about this that we didn't have you on for the MVP
dude,
episode.
I was gonna bring that up. I don't remember anything about that movie because I haven't seen it since I was a kid and like watched the VHS tape. But I remember at one point mentioning that movie to Jeff at work, and then seeing that you guys made an episode about it, and I was like, God fucking damn it,
Dude, I didn't know. Yeah, I don't think Jeff and I liked it very much. But.
Well, it's a funny movie. Not in the way that it's intended. Okay, I still can never. That's one thing I can never get over is the logic in that film, because the entire like last 20 minutes of the big game at the end, they replace a girl like the monkey with a girl, and no one notices. like in the plot of the film, they're like, oh, the monkey like can't play this last bit of the game, so we're throwing this small girl into the game, and that's gonna take the place of the monkey, and everyone just played like it was normal, and at the end she scores the winning goal, and they're like, see, it wasn't the monkey, it was this girl. And like no one noticed on the ice that it wasn't the monkey anymore.
I mean, yeah. Sounds about right for that movie. I didn't know there was 3 of them. The only one I ever knew about was MVP, but apparently there's MXP, Most Extreme Primate, and then there's a third one.
Yeah. Now,
But I
I
don't
do
know
want to
what
say,
that is.
just because I have to, that it is an ape, it is not a monkey. I had to say
primate.
that. I have a degree in anthropology, so I can never let that slide.
Yeah.
I
I
have to
forgot
hold myself
about your
accountable.
anthropology degree.
Dude, that's the thing though. I was gonna do a video where I watch every like Air Bud production, and I didn't realize that they have like 3 of every animal. Like they don't just do like one and done with the primate. They and there's like all the like Air Buddies like.
Oh yeah,
Why have they ever done a crossover where the most valuable primate was on the same team as Airbud?
that would be really cool. It'd be like the Godzilla versus Kong of that cinematic universe.
But they team up. And then they play the Icelandic hockey team from D3.
They compete
D2,
in
one of those, yeah.
They compete in bobsledding versus the Cool Runnings team at the end.
I would watch that. Like
I
would watch that.
I've only seen 2 of your videos ever, Karsten. And
It's okay.
I wanted to talk about that because there's a reason I don't watch your videos. And it's because I think
I'm
it
ready
would
for this
be
reason.
I think it would be weird for me to know your opinion about stuff without talking to you about it. And I don't
You know what? That's a great reason.
like being
'Cause we just talk normally all the time about movies.
and I don't want to
Not all the
have
time.
like an edge in any conversation where I'm like, I know what he thinks about this already.
Yeah. Dude, you know what? I respect that a lot.
I think I saw like one where you were like, the title was something like "This is my favorite movie" or something like that. Synecdoche, New York.
Synecdoche, New York.
And
you
I was
watched
like,
that one? That's
yeah.
so weird.
Yeah,
man.
and I was like, that's interesting. I've never seen that movie. Maybe I'll watch this and then want to watch it. And then I did want to watch it, and then I never watched it. But
it's a solid movie.
and I forget what the other one was. But
That's all good.
it might have been a
What do you watch
Moonlight
this
one.
month for last
one of the-
October?
Did
Yeah.
you make a Moonlight video at any point?
I did, yeah.
I
like
think
a long time ago, though.
I think it might have been that one, and it was before I knew you.
Yeah.
Which is so
That's really weird. Yeah, that was like a very old video. Honestly, it might have gotten like taken down because I don't.
Oh, they
Yeah.
DMCA'd it or whatever.
Maybe I know a lot of those old videos got DMCA'd, but
That's wild.
How many
Any-
DMCA parodies of YMCA do you think there are?
At least
I think
10.
you should get on it, Jeff. I mean,
Yeah.
let me DMCA.
Wait, is
I'm
it
not
even
gonna look this
DMCA?
up.
'Cause if not, that's gonna.
I
not
think
make any
so.
sense.
I think that's the term.
Wait, DMCA, YMCA parody. There's already search. Oh yeah, they got a lot. There's
Yeah.
there's like I already see like 4. All right. Anyways, What were we talking about? Oh, Point Break. I think we can wrap it up pretty soon because we're sitting pretty at 42. But Adam, did you have any does anyone have any closing thoughts on this before we head into questions?
I don't know. I don't think I really have much else to say that I haven't said already, but I think it's a much more serious film than anyone really gives it credit for at face value, and there's a lot to love about it. And yeah, I don't know. I think there's definitely some real homoerotic subtext to more solidify my point, because I don't know if I ever really took a side on that, but it's pretty clear that maybe they didn't intend for that, or maybe they did. I have no idea. But just look at the way they interact. When he's in the plane and he's like, "You want me so bad," it's like acid in your mouth. I don't know. You have to he had so many opportunities to kill each other. Both of them could have just been all right, no, you're done. I win. But they care about each other and they love each other, and so they didn't do that. And
I think at the very least, you cannot argue that it's ambiguous as to what the filmmaking intention was in a lot of that. And I think the fact that it's that ambiguous says something.
Yeah, totally. I'm for now feeling a 4.5 out of 5 personally.
That is you really love this movie.
Dude, if I rewatched it, I'm probably gonna give it a 5.
I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that.
I loved it way more than I thought I would too. I expected this to just be The Last Boy Scout, where I'm that was fun. That was
I will never
cheesy.
watch this again.
I will never watch this again. And now I'm I want to own this on Blu-ray, which it's sold out apparently on Amazon.
You want a poster on your wall.
I only have an old DVD
Literally.
that I used to watch all the time, but now it's on HBO Max, so I could watch it in decent quality, which was cool.
Perfect. Yeah. Cool. What about everybody else with ratings?
So Adam's gonna give it a 5.
Yeah,
probably. I mean, I can't say it's a perfect movie. So at minimum, it's a 4.5. But it's my favorite movie subjectively, so I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna say that this movie is. I don't know if I personally would want to rewatch it that much. I can see how you would derive a lot of rewatchability from it. It's something easy to throw on for sure.
Yeah.
But the thing is, because it's actually well thought out. I would feel I need a lot of mental commitment to be analyzing it as I'm watching it. So I think I only give it a 3.5 because it's I don't know, I don't really want to watch it that much again.
That's fair.
But I appreciated a lot of the aspects of it.
Yeah. I think this is one of the first times, Jeff, that we've had that big of a difference between scores.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty much on
here.
the Letterboxd average score of it.
All right. Yeah.
So I'm the general public, and you guys are the aficionados.
Yeah.
Jeff, what is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is The Life Aquatic.
Okay, I haven't.
My second favorite movie is Ishtar.
I've never seen a Wes Anderson movie all the way through.
That is amazing that you made it through film school like that.
I'm not done yet with film school, but I probably will graduate without having seen a Wes Anderson movie start to finish.
You should come over and we should watch Fantastic Mr. Fox.
I know, that's one of your favorite movies, isn't it?
It's my favorite, yeah.
Yeah.
I have it on multiple copies of physical media.
I saw the first bit of Grand Budapest Hotel in a hotel and fell asleep.
Yeah.
And I think I also put on what's the one with the kids at a camp? What's that one called?
Moonrise
Yeah, I put on Moonrise Kingdom and then didn't pay attention to it while it was on.
Moonrise Kingdom's the least.
Isle of Dogs is the worst one.
Is it now? Okay.
Isle of Dogs isn't great.
I'm
sure,
I
liked it.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
sure it
amazing
makes a great movie.
aesthetically.
I just haven't dove into that yet.
I think you'd like Mr. Fox.
I probably would. I probably would like his movies a lot. But,
Yeah, I mean, I think The Life Aquatic is the most chaotic of the Wes Anderson films.
Yeah.
It's the one that had the biggest budget, and it's just insane.
Every time
So
I
I think
wear
you might appreciate that. But
every time I wear this
Fantastic Mr.
red
Fox
beanie I
is
have,
very good.
someone
Yeah, there
always
you
is
see, there you go.
yeah. And I'm I don't know that movie.
Cool. Well, we can move on to
Wait, time of day.
time of day, dude. This is this is a tight 7 p.m. for me.
Really?
Like this is make a night out of it.
Yeah, this is Adam. What time of day you would think this would be good to watch?
Oh, Point Break.
Yeah.
I mean, the other day, like to watch this, I started it at like 3 p.m. and it was fine, and I've watched it like late at night before too.
Yeah.
I think it's a great like it's dark outside movie. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
There's so much surfing and everything. I feel like this really is one of the few films where I think it is equally at home at 11 a.m. and like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Like you could be any of the times.
It's kind of like sleepy, like the rock music and like that 80s like reverby like drums like really makes it this atmospheric experience. So I can see you watching it late at night.
Yeah.
And just kind of just watching it all happen. But
Yeah.
For sure.
also great in the morning.
Oh, that reminds me. The other video of yours I saw is one where you're talking about like watching movies during the day or some shit.
Yeah.
Wait,
no,
was it the one about how to watch long movies?
it might have been.
Okay.
It might have been where you were like I like to watch movies in the morning sometimes now. And
Dude, that's the whole video, yeah. Dude, yeah, I think that's like a wait, never mind. That's funny. Because that video was literally just me talking about when to watch a movie for like 8 minutes straight. And I'm like, if you do it at night, and yeah.
Did you say with that like accent?
Yeah, I know.
If you
I
do
get,
it at
like,
night.
Yeah,
If you
you
do
do
it
it
at
at night. You know, you might
It was like an
fall
impression of
asleep.
yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, I slip into that sometimes. We should move on to questions.
All right.
My
these-
last point is that this film came out 2 months after I was born. So this world, this is the world I was born into.
hell yeah.
It all makes sense. Everything's coming together. Cool. Oh, wait, okay. This is kind of exciting. This is our last movie in our first like 100 episodes or something. Because are we counting our surprise movie, Jeff, in the tier list or?
Oh, you're making a whole tier list.
If we're
I guess we have to. All right, so
Yeah,
we have one
that's
more.
cool.
But yeah, our 100th episode is coming up, and we'll talk more about that at the end. But this is the Q&A portion.
Oh, boy.
One of the it's
I
just
didn't know
4
there was one of
questions.
these.
Oh no. Yeah, no, we'll fly through it.
All right.
This first one comes from patron Jacob Colness. Just a reminder, if you guys pledge $15 on Patreon, you get your questions answered in these real episodes.
Not the fake ones.
Yeah, not the fake ones, the parodies. But Jacob Colness asks, soup or bowl? Which I'm assuming was a Super Bowl
It was like a
joke.
Super Bowl joke.
Yeah.
And it's like, but since it is a question, we have to take it seriously.
Yeah. $15 for this one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
So someone approaches and they're in one hand they have a bowl, in one hand they have soup that's not in a bowl.
like I guess it's a can of soup
It's-
at this
yeah.
point.
It's just liquid soup in their hand.
I assume someone's like water bending soup in front of you.
Yeah.
I take the bowl.
I take the
'cause
bowl as well.
I don't know how to
You
water
can-
bend soup.
So many uses.
I'm gonna say something
Yeah.
controversial here. I'm gonna take the soup.
Take
I'm gonna take the soup. What kind of soup
Are
is
you
it? I don't
gonna
care. It doesn't matter.
Eat it immediately.
Is
Also,
it
do
hot?
you eat
Yeah,
soup
I know.
or drink soup? How does that work?
That's for me to know and for you to find out.
I drink the soup.
I think
You
you
eat the
eat
stuff
it.
in the soup, but isn't the stuff in
Yeah,
the soup
there's
part
there's
of the
stuff
soup?
in the soup.
Yeah.
You eat.
Yeah.
But
Sometimes.
you do drink the actual
Not every soup.
but it's all soup. I don't understand actually how this works.
Yeah.
The relationship. You
Yeah,
know,
this next-
I think that we actually gave $15 of value on that. So
Thank you, Jacob. This next one comes from Sophia Bree, and it's topical because Valentine's Day is coming up, or it's yesterday,
it was yesterday
by the
when this
time.
comes out, but
Yeah.
tomorrow when we
But
record
tomorrow
this.
but today is Saturday. If you took someone on a date in your hometown, what would you do? Now this is a unique answer for all three of us because you're from St. Louis.
Yes.
Adam. I'm from St. Paul. Jeff is from Clearwater, Florida.
Yeah.
What would everybody do?
I mean, so yeah, I never have lived in Clearwater, but I was born there, and I'm from like 15 minutes away. But Clearwater itself is the world capital of Scientology, so I would take them to get a stress test.
All right, man. Yeah.
No, probably. I mean, I guess go to the beach.
Yeah.
That's pretty easy.
Stress test at the
Okay.
beach.
For sure.
They do them at the beach now because of COVID.
Yeah, they're like, how stressed do you feel? Actually, not at all. The waves are lovely.
Yeah. I'd go like sledding.
Okay.
I don't know.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What if there's no snow?
Then we get creative with it.
You roll
Then
down
we go.
a hill.
Yeah. Then we roll down the hill. Yeah. In
All
a
right.
blanket.
Very nice.
What about you, Adam?
I don't
almost said Jared.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? I don't know. Maybe I'd take you out to Art Hill in Forest Park, and maybe we go up in the art museum and have a little walk around, and go to the hill and get some T-Rabs for dinner.
Wow, this guy had it planned
That's
out.
okay. Yeah, I
That's
feel
a
like you've
full-
done this.
I haven't done all of it at the same time, but
Yeah.
I've done those two separate things before.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know what? I'm changing my answer to go to the Dali Museum because St. Petersburg, Florida, has
Pardon?
the second largest collection of Dali work in the world. So if you're ever
That's-
traveling in the St. Pete Clearwater area, visit the Dali Museum.
I made a really bad joke there. I don't know if
Tell
you guys
him-
got it.
Tell them we sent you.
Listen to it back and. Yeah, that's cool. You know what? I scratched my answer. We're going to the Mall of America, and we're going to Nickelodeon Universe.
That's the only
And-
part of the Twin Cities I've ever been to because I had a layover there once, and
And it's right next to the airport.
I bought Dragon Quest IX: Sentinels of the Starry Skies on my Nintendo DS, and then I dropped that DS in a sewer in France,
Ooh,
and I cried because I was like 10.
that's upsetting.
Was your layover on the way to France?
Yeah.
So like you immediately. Wow.
Well, it wasn't as soon as I got to France. It was a little while in. I had put in
Yeah.
Wait.
several hours into Dragon Quest IX.
Wait, your flight was from St. Louis to
Uh-huh.
Minnesota to France?
I guess I don't remember, man. It might have been a
Well, not the way.
What kind of layover
Well,
is that?
St. Louis doesn't have like a super international airport, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Would make
yeah.
sense to go to O'Hare, I think.
It would-
Probably.
or like-
JFK.
or like-
Usually
yeah, or
that's
LaGuardia
what it
or
is,
something.
but
Yeah.
usually it's O'Hare. But I
Yeah.
don't
You
know.
went to MSP, which is a great airport.
Isn't it like
for anyone.
attached to the mall?
It's definitely not attached, unless it
close.
is. There's there might be like a secret tunnel.
I don't know.
It would make sense if there
I
was
don't.
a tunnel.
I don't know if we like left the airport and then had to go back to the airport just to go to the
Yeah.
fucking Mall of America. But I
Dude,
don't
Mall of
know.
America's cool.
It is cool. They got like a
kind of-
SpongeBob ride, don't they?
Yep, they got rock bottom plunge.
Hell
which
yeah.
is crazy. Yeah. So that's my date idea, and then I'd go to the Lego. Never mind. It's there's a Lego store in the mall. I'd go there.
I
try and get
remember
free Lego.
there was a wizard thing, and you could buy a wand and do wizard stuff.
I've been there. Yeah,
I
had a
wanted to do
wand.
it, but my parents were like, "The wand's too expensive. You're not going into the wizard
Yeah.
thing." So I really wanted to be a wizard. I was disappointed.
Cool. This next one comes from Only for Jeffcast, and it is with Point Break having a terrible remake. Are there any remakes you guys enjoy? Possibly any you think are better than the original? Little movie question.
can't-
This is one I should have sent beforehand.
All right, I'm gonna go on
Googling-
Letterboxd and type remakes better than original and see if anyone has a list.
My first thought is the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory remake, where it's
Oh,
called.
there actually is remakes better than originals. There's like a bunch of these lists.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I don't think it's a great remake, but it is solid. I don't mind the Johnny Depp Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
The Wicker Man. The Wicker Man remake with Nicolas Cage.
The one with Nick Cage.
I haven't
Dude.
seen that one actually. I've seen the original one and it's a great movie. But
Yeah.
I only know like the legends of the Wicker Man remake.
Dude, I kind of want to watch that now. That's it looks.
You know what?
Really
I actually
funny.
have one. It's not on these lists. And it's not exactly a remake. It's more of like a conceptual remake. I think Rat Race is better than It's a Mad, 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 Mad World.
I haven't seen either.
I haven't.
It's literally just the like 2 movies where they just chucked in tons of famous people into a movie. And were like, go for it. So it's like they did one in the 60s and then they redid it in like early 2000s.
Okay.
And I think the early 2000s one was better. I've seen both of them.
Nice. I also just realized the new It is better than the original like 4-hour TV series It or whatever that was. Yeah, I like the new It better than the.
I don't think
the original
saw.
was kind of boring.
I didn't see part 2 of the new one, but part 1 was pretty
good.
good.
A lot of people.
I heard it was
honestly
bad.
haven't seen any of them.
I like the original a lot. I love Tim
We
Curry
have
so much.
We
interviewed one of the cast.
Yeah, I was gonna say
cool.
we have to be fans of the new one because a friend of the podcast, Wyatt Olef, is in it.
Well, he had a bigger role in the original, so we can all say we like the original more.
Well, that's what I meant.
Because he had a bigger role. in
Wait,
that one.
I'm confused.
So there's
He's in the remake, but he's in it.
no. I meant he's in the first It, but he's also in
yeah.
It Part
Okay.
2.
But
he's better in
because I'm
It
like that's not the
one.
remake.
think-
Yeah, okay, we're on the same page.
I think I have a real answer for the remake question though.
Yes.
All right.
Fistful of Dollars, baby.
Never
I
haven't
like
seen
it
either.
I like it more than Yojimbo, which might be controversial.
Whoa.
But
I didn't even know there was a Yojimbo remake.
yeah, dude.
like that.
every like spaghetti western movie is just a rip off of a
Kurosawa
Kurosawa.
rip-off.
Yeah.
And Hidden Fortress is the original Star Wars.
Right. I haven't seen that one. For a little bit I got into like a big Kurosawa kick because I wanted to play Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
But I really do love the Leone movies a lot. Like The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is probably one of my favorite movies too.
Nice. I am so out of touch with spaghetti westerns. Like I have not.
They're so good.
I'm really like behind on those.
Yeah, we actually talked about that once on this podcast where like neither of us has seen like any spaghetti westerns.
Yeah.
You should
Or,
watch
like Five Goes West.
That was the one I said where someone's like, "What's your favorite western?" I said, "Five Goes West."
Yeah.
Ooh, another good answer. The Thing was a remake. John
That's what I
Carpenter's
saw
Thing
that.
was
Yeah.
And
The Thing is one of the best
Parent
movies
Trap.
ever.
The Parent Trap was a
Parent
remake.
Trap.
And it's a good ass
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Also, Ocean's 11.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Should we get into this last question?
Yes.
Sure. Unless it is from Seal the Deal, and it is, what is the most overrated fruit? I'm gonna say
So it has to be a fruit that's rated very highly to begin with because, like, I don't know. Some fruits no one cares about.
Yeah.
I'm being honest.
I'm gonna say it's the pear. I think the pear is overrated.
That's
pear
wrong.
is
Not much flavor to a pear.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I
you're having
mean-
bad pears.
They kind of
Well-
they taste and feel like sand to me, and I don't like them that much. I mean, I'll eat
I'm
them.
not a
but
big pear fan, but I also think pears are properly rated at the same time.
Yeah,
because
because
no one's talking.
you might be right.
No one's talking about a pear like it's a strawberry.
Yeah. Now, I think the most divisive fruit might be the banana.
Well, yeah.
Because bananas get bad raps because all banana flavored candy tastes awful.
I disagree.
Oh no, I disagree too, but most people think that.
The banana Laffy Taffy is the best flavor of Laffy Taffy.
Yeah, I also like banana chewy runts.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
They're also just the most fun shape to like bite, I think, for some reason, because they're like the biggest one. So I'm like, it's more fun to eat this than like the tiny little like circular orange. Get out of
Yes.
here.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm
Same
gonna
wavelength.
say that blueberries are the most overrated because they're rated very highly. They're rated like top 5 usually. And blueberries, you have to get such a specifically good blueberry for it to be good.
That's true.
Because
I
so
agree with you,
like
Jeff.
a bunch of them have no taste. Now, if you get really lucky and get like a good batch of them, they're amazing. But just the average blueberry is like pretty tasteless.
I'm gonna be that guy here and say, is my ear okay? Oh, it looks like it's bleeding in the camera.
I was like that guy here and say, "Is my ear okay?"
Watermelon. It's just
I'm with you. I
I disagree.
It's-
with
I
you.
disagree
it's a
wholeheartedly.
big player in the game with nothing to offer. Like it really
No,
is.
it's just
besides
a
a
lot.
very cool look, it's like not my. It's a mess.
And then there's
it's
a
a
bunch of
mess when you
seeds.
eat it. Yeah, gets
There's
wet.
a bunch of seeds that you don't want to eat.
But I don't Yeah.
I agree.
I think you guys are missing the point. It's all about the ritual. It's all about the ritual of the watermelon.
Which is like summer. Well,
yeah, it's a summer.
Florida. That was like a summer thing, right?
It's a summer thing.
It was 120 degrees Fahrenheit, not Celsius. You would die.
Right. You eat it when you're out in the heat and you're swimming, so it doesn't matter if you get juice all over you. And half the fun is spitting out the seeds. And if you don't want that, just get a seedless one.
Yeah.
They make them like that.
You know what?
And they taste good.
You have cred for this because you are from like St. Louis, which the summers in St. Louis, I've been there.
Oh, very humid. Yeah.
You want to be in a pool.
Yeah, you want to be in a pool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you want to put a pool in your mouth, which is what a watermelon is.
You stay hydrated when you eat a watermelon.
Yeah.
I disagree.
You know what? That's
watermelon
true.
juice. Yeah. If you've ever had that, they make watermelon juice that has like some lime juice in it, and it's like a mixture.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite juice of any fruit.
Yeah.
I got this watermelon lemonade, and it was kind of disappointing, but it's still pretty good. It didn't taste like what I wanted it to taste like. It was more lemon than watermelon, but it's good.
Cool. Well, I think that seals the deal. I didn't even mean to say that, but that's the usernames of the person who asked the last question. But we can get into our wrap up. Next movie is a surprise. Usually we let you guys know, but I don't think we need to let you guys know this week. It's just gonna be a surprise.
Might be a problem because then no one's gonna watch it before the podcast. I just realized.
Yeah, which is. Yeah, but I think...
I guess maybe we should tell them.
Maybe we should tell them. All right. Next week, we're talking about Diary of a Wimpy Kid, which has been highly requested, and we thought we'd do it for the 100th episode.
It's the most requested.
Yeah. Most requested
movie in Karstcast history.
Yeah, so we're going to watch Diary of a Wimpy Kid. And, yeah, now we have to...
Are you watching the new one or the one that it was good?
I didn't know it's been out that long for there to even be a remake.
Didn't they make a remake where Roderick looks? I remember there being a different Roderick, and that's.
Yeah, we're watching the one that Karsten auditioned for.
What?
Yeah, the OG. I auditioned for the Diary of. It's a long story. We're gonna get into it. Yeah, next we read a review to encourage you guys to leave reviews. This one comes from Kigeru from the United States. The subject line is Great Podcast, 5 stars, and the review is Mike and Ike. And that's it.
What's your guys' favorite candy?
Oh, we just talked.
Algren's Bilar.
What the fuck did you just say to me?
What the fuck did you just say?
Was that English?
It's a Swedish candy that you can only buy in like Scandinavia.
That's a very
it's like
Jeff
these
answer.
Marshmallow cars, but the sour variant is my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Mine is I like a Milky Way.
Okay.
If you count that. I'm a big chocolate boy. I like the chocolates. What about you?
I'm a Sour Patch Kids boy.
No, okay. That's
Sorry
fair.
to
That's
derail
solid.
the wrapping up of the podcast.
No, this is what happens.
I actually had some with me when I was traveling, and I gave it to like people from other countries, and they were like, "These are amazing," because they don't have those in Europe. And yeah, people were obsessed with Sour Patch Kids. So solid answer.
They're so good.
Yeah. And lastly, we want to thank our patrons over at patreon.com/Karstcast. You can go there to get exclusive access to bonus episodes, Q&As, and shoutouts at the end of every episode, which I'm about to do. Real quick, thank you, Addison Ware, AJ Ford, Annabelle Falk, Ben Chow, Bex, Blake Root, Boat, Boyoyoyoy, Brandon Yu, Brock Schultz, Camilla, David Serrer, 2 Davids, Eden, Fozzie Bear, Grant Gow, Harry Remedianakis, I Don't Live in Ohio, Iva, Jaden Easton, Jacob Colness, Jane V, John Van Hout, Joshua Kruzwicki, Kara M, KDT, Kaylee Patney, Liv Rob, Lucian Vecina, Molly Overbow, Martin Deff, Martina, Mary Lee Borslow, Micah Simmons, Monroe Page, Parks, Riley Ost, Robert Burke, Saba, Sam Farr, Sophia Arieta, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Smitty Werbin, Jagerman Jensen, Taylor Hardy, 10 billion, The Phone, Rings in the Middle of the Night, Tom Likes Beans, Vegard Strom, Vera S, Xavier Forcier, and Yusef A.
Karsten, you are a machine.
See, honestly, I just went through those quickly because I didn't want to waste Adam's time. I realized halfway
I got
through
nothing else to do today.
I'm
Don't
like,
worry about it.
usually we don't do this with the guest here, but
that's fine.
I forgot.
I think that like all the twitching that you've gotten so good at, that's not
what are you? I was like, are you dissing me right now?
No, I mean all of the Twitch streaming that you've
Yeah.
done has made you really good at like live things on camera.
Yeah.
Because you
Thanks,
seem
Jeff.
so relaxed in front of the camera now. I don't know.
Appreciate it,
Watching your
yeah.
Twitch stream, you are honestly on fire
Thanks, Jeff.
in a good way.
I appreciate that. I wouldn't have it without. Never mind.
See, even that slip up was graceful,
I came
Right.
out of it, landed on my feet. Yeah.
There you go.
like a cat.
Adam, do you have anything you want to plug before we sign off?
You can follow me on Twitter at childbearer. That is my @. That's what my @ is.
Yeah. Okay,
Um,
real quick before you get further, just a comment on that. Adam had an incredibly viral tweet like a month or so
This
ago.
is true. Yeah.
Can you just speak on that just briefly?
I think it was something along the lines of my parents bought this gun to defend their home from Antifa, but little did they know that Antifa's already in their house eating all the like cheese in their fridge because it's me. That's the joke, is that
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
the Antifa.
You're the
Yeah.
alpha.
It got like almost like 500,000 likes, and it was pretty
it
insane.
was nuts. And then
It was
you got
crazy.
you got to actually be one of those people that make money off tweets.
Yeah. I which I found out recently they really cracked down on that and started suspending accounts that did that. So I had to go back and delete
Really?
them. But yeah, I
Dude.
got to hawk those galaxy lights and the
Yeah,
fucking the tea tree thing that pulls blackheads
Yeah.
out of your face.
That's so.
I made like so I got like $40 for the first one, and then I got like 15 for the second one because they really want
Yeah.
that first tweet. You get paid
Yeah.
more for the first one. But yeah, it was like
Wow.
on the front page of Reddit and shit. It was really weird. And
Yeah,
That's
nuts.
crazy.
yeah, just me shitting on my parents.
Your
I had
parents
like
know about the tweet?
no, as far as I know, they don't. My mom liked one of my tweets the other day, and I was like, oh no, she's gonna see like some like out of pocket shit I tweeted
Yeah.
and be like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah. It's also really funny because it's like you talking about your parents and millions of people read it.
Yeah, and they were like, it resonated with a lot of people who have like
Yeah.
Republican parents, but yeah.
Yeah.
I got some really fucked up replies to that. Some people were
Yeah, that's
like,
probably.
yeah, it was awful.
Dude, that's what
But
people do, you know.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you
Jeff
put
and
it
I
on
get them
mute,
all the
and it's
time.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say that, and this is just, since we're like at the end, most people haven't made it this far. Just some life advice for people commenting on things. Don't comment on like, because I made that short film Pilots, and people are commenting like, better than Karsten short film. I'm like, what do you think that's like? Who is this
Yeah.
for?
What?
Yeah,
Like,
That's
first
just-
of all, objectively, it is absolutely worse than Long Toast. Long Toast actually had a singular vision. Mine was just a bunch of things I jumbled together and shot in 3 hours and like just chucked out there. Where yours was like a very precisely animated film that was definitely better than Pilots, which I don't even think is good.
I did
I was
see
just
Long
doing it
Toast.
to troll
I
Letterboxd.
saw that one too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know you
I
animated.
literally-
Me?
Yeah.
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 I didn't know
I
you
don't.
were good at
That's the
animating.
thing. I don't. That I first of all, I'm not good at it. Second
It
of
was
all,
pretty good.
I don't. That was my first time ever animating,
Mm.
but I do want to do it more often. I have another funny thing that I came up with that I think I'm gonna make.
Long
'cause
Toast Part
Yeah.
2.
And
long-
you
the
also,
toast gets longer, man.
yeah, I don't know. I think that there's so much room where you could animate something like that and then put it on like Twitter instead of YouTube, and
Yeah.
like because it's so short. I think like you could blow up as America's next great animator.
I'm
I
gonna have a
believe
guy
in Karstcast.
eating cheese in his fridge, but I'm just gonna animate.
Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently that
Yeah.
really works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just animate
Respects the
Adam's
chord.
tweets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, my podcast is also on Twitter. We're getting off the ground at Sunday_pod. I also have a Twitch account that I have not used in a little while at twitch.tv/Adam_NL. And if you see me in Karsten's chat, say hi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I've checked out Adam's stream.
Pretty good.
It's fun.
Pretty good. Yeah. Cool. Well, that about does it. Thanks, Adam, for being on.
My pleasure.
We'll definitely have you on again.
Would love to.
And Jeff, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I'm gonna say catch you on the flip side.
Catch you on the flip side.
Absolutely.
You got to say catch you.
Adam,
Ca-
Adam.
huh?
Get us.
Catch,
Get us.
catch you on the
Say
flip
it.
side.
Flip side.